Hey folks, Quillyteen here, and welcome to our Wednesday live stream where we're starting early because I don't want to do anything except play Baldur's Gate 3 right now. And I didn't want to wait until 2 p.m. I want to start early. I want to have a nice long stream. Monday we streamed for an extra long time too, but we went later and stepped on some of Ava's stream, and also it gets a little late for Europeans. I mean, no matter what, no time is going to be a perfect match, but yeah, I really want to get started earlier today. So that's what we're going to do. I just realized my volume was a little lower over here. Let's go and fixify that. Oh, man. Early birds get the worm. Yeah. So today, we are going to be pushing forward. We're still very early in Act 1 here. We did a pretty thorough job in the Emerald Grove, including a really annoying room that I don't want to talk about. That I fell into this trap that I do sometimes where I want to play like completionist via chat micromanagement because I don't want to miss anything, but then I get stressed that things are taking a long time and also doing things that are outside of the character. That whole thing with the room, with the rat, like yeah, helping the paralyzed lady, sure, but then the theft afterwards felt out of character, felt slow, and generated a lot of stress. So gonna try to avoid that kind of situation this time. But otherwise, Emerald Grove, feeling very good that it has been resolved very good. I'm kind of annoyed that there's not a teleporter like into Emerald Grove. Whenever you want to go here, you got to go to the environs, and it's quite the hike to get back inside, which is kind of annoying. Before the stream started, I went ahead and sold a ton of crap. I did go back to the Grove. I cleared out a bunch of inventory space, made a lot of room because we were having some like weight issues and things. Well, and just generally, you know, there was a lot of clutter. Although I've got a little bit more here because I did decide there are a couple of goblin corpses that had never despawned, and they were flagged as like sort of theft. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And indeed, I could go ahead and clear those without triggering anyone, so they should despawn now, which is kind of annoying me that they were still on the map for whatever reason that was there. In addition to selling stuff, I'll say to buy these gloves of missile snaring, which are actually like insanely good. In my Tuesday multiplayer game of this, one of the other players picked this up, and it's just crazy how good it is. Right now, it does ask to see if we want to use it. I'm just going to go and turn that off. Like, if you can missile snare, go ahead and do it. Technically, it consumes our reaction. We might want to save it for something else, but I'm pretty confident that I'm always going to be saying yes, and it'll save us a pop-up, and that's going to be okay. Although, I guess we could leave it on so that the first time it triggers, we can, like, recognize that it's gone on, which is going to be lovely. Now, on the way out from the place, I was walking back to where we'd left off. We had left off, I think technically, we were standing down over here, right outside the Owlbear Cave. But I was going to go and come up over here and be ready to cross the bridge over here into, I believe the zone is called the Blighted Village, which we haven't done yet. Because we are pursuing, like, we've got a few things, right? Like, Blade of the Frontier, so Will wants us to go and hunt down Karlach. And I think if we had a Lae'zel in the party, she'd be sending us somewhere over here-ish or something of that nature. Oh, no, I guess it's over there. And I think we could, for Karlach, we might be able to, actually, I'm not even convinced that we could walk up this way, so it might be a moot point. We might have to go through this village regardless. But I'm particularly interested in trying to track down the Druid Halsin for a variety of reasons. One, it could be a way for us to cure this mindworm thing. And two, as a Druid, I'm very, like, you know, this is obviously one of my brethren that I'd like to help. And three, Halsin should, in theory, be able to help us defuse the situations going on in the Emerald Grove, where everyone is super cranky at each other, and stuff like that. So, for Delures here, I think that's his personal priority, and that's where we're going to push forward. And in any case, we're going to have to go through here. There's like an area down here we haven't been. I don't know if that's walkable as is. Maybe there's a path that goes under a rise and does that, or maybe we can loop around that way. We'll see. We'll probably clear all the map at some point, but we'll see. Yeah, there's Kagada. I know. Again, we're not going to fall into micromanagement traps. So yes, it's down there as well. We're going to take a look at that. But my first thing is I want to head west here, because even investigating Kaga, I'd rather have Halsin saved first, because that seems like an immediate danger. I don't think anything is timed like that in the game, but that's the vibe I've got. But when I was walking up here to prep, I guess we hadn't walked right by this direction before, or maybe it shows up. I don't know. I'm assuming this is related to Astarion here. Maybe it only shows up after it sneaks away at camp one night, or maybe it was always there. I'm not sure, but if we go over here, we get a little bit of flavor text.
Strange. It looks healthy, but it's stone dead.
Hey, when I was here before... oh, there it is.
It's dead. Let's go.
So I was like, oh, I better stop right here, and we'll start the video there. And it's like, it's fine. I can bring up the combat log to point out what happened. But then, as I stood here preparing for the stream, something else triggered, just by waiting. Oh, no, maybe it was when I... Is it when I clicked to loot? I felt like it was just something timed, though. Maybe it was related to me clicking and looting. That's possible. Because there's a bloodless pig meat. Few coarse hairs still stick out of the skin on the knee.
The pig's dead, my friend. Staring at it won't bring it back. Come on. We'll never fix these brainworms if we stop and gawk at every piece of carrion you find.
Methinks he protests too much. So you can do a medicine check here, which I don't have a good... I don't have proficiency in it, but I do have wisdom, which is nice. I'm also quite tempted to go ahead and Al's wisdom this. It's not a very difficult check, but I'm quite curious about it. And I think actually having advantage on wisdom saves might be useful if something comes up in a sec. Or not wisdom saves, but wisdom checks. On the other hand, we might be doing a long rest, which means either way, casting another spell is going to be fine. We'll go ahead and get a guidance on this. I mean, it's overkill for a DC 10. But let's do it. I wonder if we can combine Speak with Animals, Speak with Dead. You could do that in Divinity Original Sin 2. But medicine check succeeded.
The boar seems to be fresh, only a few hours dead. Examining the corpse, you see 2 small puncture wounds in its neck.
And is it dead enough for you?
I like how, like, at this point, our character, I don't think has any idea what's going on, right? He's like, oh, these marked as strange, you recognize them. And Astarion's just like, dude, move on. Or you know something about this, don't you? Now I'm going to go with persuasion side of it. That's going to be fine. We still have our guidance running. DC 10. There we go. They're not suspicious at all. Got a better check on this one despite not having advantage.
It's been drained of blood with wounds in its neck. It's been killed by a vampire. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to worry you. They are ferocious creatures.
Oh, aren't they just?
But don't worry. I'll keep watch tonight. We won't have to worry about nocturnal visitors. Now, please, let's go.
Unless we do know about him at this point, I don't remember what interactions we've had with him in this game versus other things.
No one back home will ever believe this.
Who just said that? No one at home will ever believe this? Was it just a selection voice? So, I mean, I guess it sort of makes sense for our characters to be like, listen, before we head into the wilderness, let's get a full night's rest. Dell doesn't have any level 2 spell slots anymore. Shadowheart, same thing. You know, we've got a certain level of exhaustion. We've got a little bit of injuries. We don't have any short rests available. I think it's fair for us to decide to call it a day. Yeah, we'll read the resubs for sure. Cool, man. So let's yeah, so go to camp, I guess, doesn't trigger the long rest instantly, although we'll be doing exactly the same thing here. Either way, I think this shortcuts it, because I think if we go to camp, we just go to camp, then we click on the bed for the first time, and that goes into long rest mode, where we go into our camp clothes. But we still have to click on the bedding one more time, I think. I'm just going to try here. I don't want it to just long rest us and then put it back here, but I think we're going to get the camp thing, which is what I want. Yeah. Just you can go to camp without ending the day. See, now it's nighttime, and we're in our casual clothes. Looking fabulous. I gotta say, stealing Shadowheart's outfit for myself, 100% the best decision I've made this entire game. Hey, Parduke, thanks for the gift subs. That. So good looking. That is Faerun's ass right there. That's what that is.
Best be on.
Any question marks about the camp? Or exclamation marks? No? No one's got anything to say? Gale hasn't started freaking out about his lack of food yet? Still considering we might do some respec at some point, but okay. All right, what are we having for dinner tonight? Dried pork sausage, spicy sausage link, 3 different types of fish, some mushrooms, apples, the bloodless pig meat. I mean, apples and pork go well together. So it's a pork loin. Fantastic. Try to sleep when there's a question mark, the game warns you. That's true, it does. I had noticed that when we're playing multiplayer. So let's have a full rest.
You don't rest well, flitting between dreams and nightmares.
Oh.
Maybe you break your meditation because you know something is wrong. Or maybe you just get lucky.
Shit.
Shit.
No, it's not what it looks like. I swear.
It's good timing for the scene.
I wasn't going to hurt you. I just needed, well, blood.
Aren't you full of pig blood right now?
There, in the dim firelight, you see him for what he really is. A vampire, a slave to sanguine hunger.
Let's zoom in. Honestly, it does a little for me. You know, I don't know which route we're going to take with Delures here in this game. I don't know what his vibe is yet. I haven't figured that out. I don't know if he's going to romance up. We probably will, just because, you know, it's interesting to see some gameplay stuff of that. I know Astarion's a favorite with a lot of the ladies. I know he's a favorite with a decent amount of the dudes as well. There's something about the zoom in. Ooh. On the other hand, it's like, well, I guess it's the same thing with him. I was going to say with Shadowheart or something, it's the whole, oh, I can fix her kind of thing. Well, with Astarion, I can fix him too, right? Pick up a stake and lunge at the monster. I don't think we're going to do that. See, that's interesting. So, I feel like in the early access, this would happen at some point regardless. In fact, I found it often happen quite early, like even the first night of rest or something like that. But we've had 2 or something nights at this point, maybe 3. I don't remember on this Let's Play. So I don't know what it's triggered by. I mean, I'm sure this can happen even if you don't find the boar, right? But here we've got this. So I guess we're going to go this way because it's contextual. I'm assuming it can happen even if you don't find the boar, so maybe not everyone will see this option. So we're going to go ahead with this. I can't believe I didn't see it. We even found the boar you snacked on. I mean, it's not... I don't know what the tone is going to be exactly. To me, it's not necessarily accusing so much as, right, okay, that's super obvious now.
It's not what you think. I'm not some monster. I feed on animals, boars, deer.
One of those vegetarian
corals,
vampires.
Whatever I can get. I'm just too slow right now. Too weak. If I just had a little blood, I could think clearer, fight better. Please.
A strange sensation courses through you, and your companion's mind unfolds, secrets half revealed.
So, one of the things, and it's actually in the updated title in the today, one of the things I do want to do with Dell, like we've established, you know, a fair bout of his world philosophy in terms of, you know, placing a high value on sort of all life, although understanding that there's a cycle of, and he's not a pacifist or anything like that, but he does like to give things a chance first. But one thing that I talked about a little bit last time is that this worm in our head is clearly going to have some influence on these characters. And one of the things I often like to do in my RPGs is have it where my characters kind of change over time in response to the situations, right? Not necessarily a hard and fast set of rules. One of my favorite was the first time I played Mass Effect, and I wanted to play a renegade. I wanted to play a space badass. But as the stakes kept getting higher and higher in Mass Effect, I really felt the weight of the situation and the galactic threat. And so my shepherd, she became more and more and more of a paragon as time went on, because she felt it was very important to really get everyone to work together and bring that kind of unity, not be focused on humans exclusively either, with sometimes the renegade has that kind of like human first mentality with it. And so had this shift over time. And I think that's going to be maybe the kind of thing that happens with Dell here as well. I didn't think it was going to happen here, because the reason I was thinking about it is because when we go, spoiler alert, in 2 seconds, when we go into the Blighted Village, I think it's called, that's taken over by goblins, you do get the opportunity to use an illithid mind power there. And I think, like Dell, I mean, we might not be entirely aware that we're using the illithid powers when we do this all the time. But he would probably justify it very much as, well, if we can avoid unnecessary death and violence, surely the correct thing to do is to just try to exert some will to move things in the right direction, right? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Now, do we break that in right now with Astarion? I kind of feel like the answer is yes, because there's probably a lot of mixed emotions going on here. Astarion's supposed to be our ally, but he's a vampire, which I know is supposed to be sort of evil and maybe unnatural, but maybe it's part of a cycle. I think Dell's going through a lot of processes in the head right now to try to figure out like where he stands in this situation. And I think, and again, it's going to be these little justifications that keep happening that where's this road going to lead us? I don't know. But I think what we're going to do here is we're going to use the illithid power to push into a mind and search for the truth. It's DC 2. So we got a +3, and yeah, last time you guys told me that in Baldur's Gate 3 they did implement the optional rule where a 1 on skill checks is an automatic fail. We could go, just to avoid failing this entirely. Oh, apparently I can't. We don't have our spell slots back. Never mind. I was going to say we could Owl's Wisdom ourselves to give us advantage, but as long as we don't roll a 1, and we might have inspiration actually. Now that I think about it, we probably have some banked up. We will be doing some chat voting for some things. That's still going to be the case. Not, it'll depend on the situation. We don't vote on every conversation, mostly because it'd be too slow.
What's this?
Your mind to my mind.
Happening?
Your thoughts to my thoughts.
Something stirs deep within you, hungry and alert. It's taking something you'll never get back. His mind opens up, revealing cracked and quivering memories. At their heart, you see dark eyes commanding you to feed. You open your mouth and bite down, not into a tender neck, but into the twisting body of a rat, the only thing your master lets you eat.
It looks like we interrupted him before he bit us, but we do have the neck mark, so I don't know. Maybe he bit us earlier in the night and he was coming back for dessert. I'm pretty sweet. You ate animals because you were forced to, not because you wanted to. That's interesting as an accusation. Now, he's been away from his master for a while, and so maybe, still continues to eat animals as a choice. Maybe, that his master pushed him a certain way. Interesting. Or why didn't you tell me you're a vampire? I mean, honestly, option 2 is pretty dumb. Because, of course I wouldn't go around telling people I'm a vampire. Most people would try to kill me instantly. I'm going to go with option 1 because I'm curious to see where it leads. Although, I'm hoping it's not too aggro because I like Astarion.
Yes. Yes, I ate whatever disgusting vermin my master picked. So you can see why I'm slow to trust you. But I do trust you. And you can trust me.
You literally just attacked me in the middle of the night. I mean, really? You tried to bite me. How can I trust you? I don't want to shut him down, but it's like, we have to have a conversation about this.
Because we don't have a choice. Not if we're going to save ourselves from these worms. I need you alive.
Hey, Quill,
You
pay attention.
be
There's a new subscriber.
strong.
There we go. Hey, J-Rose, thanks for the sub.
Please. Only be a taste, I swear. I'll be well, you'll be fine. And everything can go back to
He's still trying to get in here. I mean, I don't blame him. Have you looked at me over here? We got another sub earlier. Freddy Kala with the Prime sub. Thank you very much for that. And yeah, we'll read the resubs in probably just after this scene here. Fine, not a drop more than you need. All right, but go too far, I'll drive a stake through your chest. Are you mad? No. So, on the basis that I'm going to believe him that he believes that we need each other to get through everything over here. So I'm gonna go with 1. We're gonna say, all right, a little bit of cycle of life. Maybe, you know what? I can give a half a pint and be okay tomorrow. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do it because, because he's potentially gonna be our husband. Or our next ex-husband, perhaps. Maybe we'll just get through everyone in the camp at some point. A lot of these RPGs are pretty horn doggy, so we'll see where things go.
Really? Of course. Not one drop more.
Of course.
Let's make ourselves comfortable.
Oh! Oh! Wait, okay, hold on. This is a little bit more sexy times than I expected.
It's
Ah,
like a shard
I hope
of
this doesn't
ice
awaken
into your
something in me.
neck. A quick, sharp pain that fades to throbbing numbness. Your breath catches, your pulse quickens.
Wow, it's warm in here. Oh, he's still going. That's enough. Push him back with a strength check. I'm not very strong. Grab the stake and drive it into his heart. Let him continue. No, I think we're gonna say, like, that's enough now. Difficulty 5. Oh, I don't like interrupting the dice thing, although it is faster if we do. We rolled quite low. I don't know what our natural number that was there, because we had, this was persuasion, so I had +5 from my stats, and then the D4 from guidance. So yeah, we rolled really badly.
Oh, of course. That was amazing. My mind is finally clear.
Sorry, I'm a little thirsty.
I feel strong. I feel...
Yeah, I think I did roll a 2. His guard's down. Grab the stake and drive it in his heart. Wow, the game really does give you every opportunity to go and take a stab there. It's interesting because did it feel wrong? It might, but at the same time, the whole thing. All right, so you should be stronger now, having drunk humanoid blood as opposed to humanoid, just non-humanoid animals. So we got this. Also, this option 1 does feel like it's a little bit more flirty. Let's do a little vote. I don't know what I'm gonna pick. I'm definitely not doing 3. When I hit this button, it should give you a pop-up on the screen at some point. I'm curious as to what people think. I feel like Dell might have some regrets about this and might go with sort of 2. Like, I felt wrong. But, maybe that's not shutting the door to everything in the future. And 1 might also make sense because, yeah, I'm curious to see if you're stronger now. But, I don't want it to be too flirty because I don't know if we're quite ready there yet. There it is, finally popped up. It's really slow sometimes for some reason. So I'm curious as to what people think. I may or may not follow what people click on. A lot of votes for 1. A lot of people, maybe as thirsty as Astarion was a second ago, huh? All right, I like it. Let's go. Let's do it. I look forward to seeing you fight.
Shouldn't take long. So many people need killing.
I mean, that's true.
Now, if you'll excuse me, you're invigorating, but I need something more filling. This is a gift, I won't forget it.
You watch as he stalks towards the forest, stronger,
Look at that face.
confident, ready to hunt.
Just a nibble achievement. Let Astarion bite you. Okay. Well, that was, Oh, hey! Our doggo Scratch made it here finally! Yay! I have a debuff, Bloodless. You feel woozy. -1 to attack roll, saving throws, and most ability checks. Whereas Astarion is happy. Astarion's vampiric hunger has been temporarily sated. +1 to all attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks. I mean, I guess it breaks even. Oh, it is... It's an intense scene.
How do you feel?
A little lightheaded, yeah. My next hurts. How do you think I feel? Feel awful, won't be doing it. I'm gonna go with option 1. I'm fine, but, I'm woozy.
It'll pass. Just be glad I'm not a true vampire. A bite from them and you might wake up as a vampire spawn. Like my good self. All of a vampire's hunger, but few of their powers.
There's definitely more, even at release, there's definitely more than one way to discover this thing with Astarion. Yeah, so option 1 is interesting because I know that's not the answer. As I say, is that how you can stand in the sun because you're not a true vampire?
Oh no. I should be cinders in this light. I hadn't seen the sun for 200 years before we crashed here. Someone, or something, wants me alive. They've changed the rules. Standing in the sun, wading through a river, wandering into homes without an invitation. They're all perfectly mundane activities now. As for my other quirks, well, we can figure those out in time.
Who's this voice actor? So, the scheduled ads are about to start. So this is going to be a great time for us to go ahead and read the subs and resubs, while people who aren't subscribed might see some advertisement. So what do we have? Who kicked us off today on the resubs? Starting us off today is Juna at their 75th month. Thank you, Juna. Nofuju's at 67 says stream today is really on point. Sitting home with a fever, having caught COVID for the first time. I was getting really bored. Damn, Nofuju. I hope you're going to be all right. Hope it's not kicking your butt too badly. Oh, Bunky, thanks for the gift subs. Much appreciated, Bunky. DJ Spartacus is resubbed for the 28th month. The all-powerful Sadist is at 28, so 38, 28. And Cool and Nacho for the 103rd month says, hello, Quill. What are your thoughts on the Long Dark DLC? So I don't know. We talked about it a little on the Discord earlier. I hadn't even known there was a Long Dark DLC, so I haven't taken a look at it. I played Long Dark when it was first in very, very, very early access. Never played it at release or anything, and I think I would really like to. So if there's, DLC, it might be a good time. I don't know. It says, you have Danish fish meatballs, potato salad for lunch today. I can't wait for the Wall World DLC Deep Threat. It's coming today in an hour. I don't know what that is. Wall World? Not familiar. Red Fox for the 42nd month. The answer to life, the universe, and everything. Nash Toitza has resubbed for the 49th month. Reptile is at 51. Finn McCool with the big hundo. 100 months from Finn McCool. Fotino Decays at 37 months. That kid is a Twitch baby at 9 months. Scave Rat's at 102 months. And that Bane guy just a little while ago at 53 months over there. Thank you very much. Thanks to the gift subs as well going on. What are we talking about with vampire stuff? Question. Theoretically, Astarions and undead can be killed in battle under by a stake. I think 5e is looser with the vampire rules. So I don't know. First of all, I don't know the 5e vampire stuff. I also don't know if the vampire spawn have the same things as the full-on vampire and how it works in 5e as well, as opposed to older editions. But in classic or older versions of D&D, full vampires couldn't really be killed. If they got brought down to 0 life, 0 hit points, they turn into a mist form and they return to their coffin. What you had to do is, while they were regenning in their coffin, you had to go and find them and stake them then. I don't know if vampire spawn ever followed the same rules, or if they could just have a true death without that whole sort of mechanic. And I certainly don't know how it works in 50. We haven't played as much 5e as like 3rd edition or 3.5, but we still have played a fair amount, but I don't think we've ever done a vampire encounter in 5e with my group. All right. So these quirks, what's causing this? Mind flares, parasite? I mean, that would be a thing. I mean, we know sort of from a meta perspective that when we create our character, we've got some sort of guardian, and presumably they've intervened a few times. So it might be that, but in character, I don't think there's any reason for us to think in that direction in any way whatsoever. So we could ask this, can help just ask, we're in this together, figure them out quickly, don't want to move. I guess I'll ask more questions.
That's my theory, but who knows? I'm just glad you're being sensible about these revelations. I was worried people might turn up with